this DL.
Drops in late. Oh, just under the lip. Super late, super deep. Spits and he comes out way after the spit. We could see our first 10, ladies and gentlemen.
10, he says. I don't know. Maybe 10. What did you think about Gabby's ride, Strider?
That was a 10 all day. That was ridiculous.
Well, Strider, I'd like to report to you, it was 10s all the way across the board for Gabe Medina.
He was able to drive through it, multiple sections, ultra deep, coming out clean. He asked for the 10 on the way out, but we knew it was going to be one.
This is the first 10 for the men of the year, and
wow.
Gabe Medina owns it. In Tahiti, let's see what he's got for us now. Another backhand barrel, dragging the arm, comes through another section, making it look so easy. John Florence.
And then John, again, just so easy. And I mean, again, when it spits and you come out after it, I mean, he's done that, I don't know, hundreds of times here, but what's he thinking here? Oh, goodness. I mean, he had good technique to get the shallow dive, but look at the drone view of it. I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be, it almost feels like it's better.
Starting at snapper, you're obviously seeded by the following year, but if Italo can finish off strong, he'll have a great seed to kick off Snapper Rocks in 2018. Absolute shootout for Wilson. Keeping his head down and covering some ground in a serious way. Big wrap, high rebound into the shallows as we approach the 5-minute warning. Italo on the answer. He's got some room as he's super deep. Comes out with the spin. Layback carve just to style his way through a finish.
Wow, what a shootout.
Fourth matchup, Potts. It is on. Duru, one of those rookies in his late 20s. 9-1-7. He's swinging again. He already has the lead. Double arm stall in the pit. He comes out. Nice wrapping cutty for Duru. Still some room to move. Nice clean slice back into the pocket just to show the panel he's in total control this heat.
This was a wave on the way back out. A little bit of a west bow as he pulls in nice and tight and comes out a bit. And then just wraps a few turns.
Way to stay engaged with the best surfing in the world as we see Mick Fanning just in and out of a beautiful
bomb.
That was a bomb too. Look at the size of that wave as it unloads on the reef. Another look at this one for Mick Fanning.
Underneath the ledge, perfectly positioned, and just poked the line. And just rode it. You know, that's what you got to do. He did the hard part by getting underneath the ledge, though, the positioning, all that work done before. Look, it literally looked like it was going to break on his head, and then he just set the line and go for the ride.
And that is one of those West influence, those West swell beasts.
As this one counted in, Potts, Medina got a big start.
Oh my goodness, Gabriel Medina, how did he come out of that one? Driving through the section. He's not finished yet. What a way to start quarterfinal number one. That's how you're going to beat. Have a look at this from the channel. Gabriel Medina, he's gone through that section. How did he come over that foam ball? Manages to sneak out and then rattled off some big turns. Gabriel Medina, an absolute cracker to kick things off. And Joe, the judges appreciated that. Have a look at that, driving through that first section. Moving that board rail to rail, keeping those fins engaged. Now he hits that foam ball. And still getting enough speed. This was Medina. Bonus section through the inside, traveling out of that one. So looking to better a 5. Oh my goodness, that turn was insane. Straight into that combination of major turns. And still fired up. Well, a crumbly section on the first part, then backdoored the next section. Came out nice and clean, and that wave grew. Now look at this turn. Talk about on the edge. Talk about combination of moves. Setting that up nicely and banging it just for good measure through the inside.
Be with Medina. This is the 9-2-3 for Wilson Potts.
Wow, look at that. Late takeoff under the lip as late as you can. And Julian Wilson.
Off late, knifing it. Wilson's right back in the game. Late takeoff once again. He's got a lot of room. Stalling. The wave spits first and lets him out. Sets that beautiful roundhouse cutback. He throws.
Let's have a look. There's a late drop. Slid straight into it. Slide himself down. Watch this thing unload as it spits, and he comes out after the spit. Now that's about as deep as you can possibly go. Big wraparound cutting and bangs it off the lip, but unfortunately doesn't make it. Let's have a look from the channel angle as he slides in. Perfect positioning. the thing unloads and spits, and Julian comes out after the fact, which is, you've got to say, that's about as deep as you can get on that wave. You know, once that thing spits, it kind of collapses. Basically the air that's holding it together, and once that air gets unloaded, that wave will just collapse. So Julian Wilson timing that to perfection. You can see as he stands up, he doesn't let go of the right hand holding that rail, the left hand feeling the face of the wave. You can see him touching it. Now he starts to slow down, understanding the dynamics of the wave, which way it's moving, how fast he's going, how much speed he needs to wipe off.
Connor looks interested in the next opportunity. 5:45 to go. Connor right into the pit on the takeoff, completely gone and spending a long time in the tube. Makes it out into a big layback power gap off the top and blows the fins out.
Wow, you said it, completely gone. The completely gone may apply to Michel Perez after that ride. That was an amazing ride, and he seemed to find some time in that tube and just be able to sit there and stay there while that thing was just going around him, and he wasn't even moved, just stationary almost in there. Here we go.
How's that takeoff, Biel? Right into the pit.
See that moment there? There was some time there where he just stayed behind it, the stalling, and then that last turn was beautiful, critical, attacking. That was the wave of the heat. It may be the wave of the day, and my heart just pouring for Michel Perez. Look at this one, Joey.
That's exactly what you dream of when you come to Tahiti, to sit in that pit for a long time. He got to enjoy that view, but it's a testament to his technical ability to read the bonus section, to stay in the pit, the longest barrel of the day with a big layback hack, a 9.2 for Conor O'Leary. And now Michel Perez is under serious pressure.
Uh-oh. Wade Carmichael leads that one up to Owen Wright as he goes straight into a spinning cylinder. Boy. Owen Wright somehow finding a magical wave right under, literally right underneath Wade Carmichael's nose.
And I'll tell you,
that's a hammer from Owen Wright.
Feeling to me like only a four-hander could have made that wave. It was so tight in the beginning, so small in the beginning, to be able to just kind of have that quick little twitch of the bottom turn to get that extra speed allowed him to kind of go into the next section, which opened up. I mean, look how small that is in the beginning. That little chandelier right there would have taken Wade out, and instead it opened up, was able to go through that section. I mean, this is going to be an excellent number. You know, one of the best. And again, this is why he is so good. But look how he just tucks into it, goes over the foam ball. And we talk about the foam ball. That's an important part of this, is that when you can do that and keep it up.
That was just perfect. I mean, that was perfection in tube riding right there. And he comes out, gets that finishing maneuver. He stood up and pumped right into it. I mean, that set him up for the rest of that barrel.
So cool.
You couldn't have ridden that wave any better.
Who's a part of the non-priority heat, now a bigger set. Setting up for Owen Wright. This thing going inside out behind him. Owen has to celebrate once again. 8.83 on his wave before. I think that 7's long gone. And this is what he just turned in.
So this wave, we're still waiting for the score. Wow, really deep again. He's had 4 amazing barrels out here in the last 20 minutes. So the wave's absolutely pumping right now. One judge even dropped a 10 for that 9.6.
Sometimes the approach seems impossible, as we saw Kelly eject in the heat before, looking straight down, locking in Michel Perez.
Wow.
In the belly of the beast. And he's got to feel like a superhero.
Guys are putting their lives on the line. That was some next level surfing right there. Really technical underneath it. He was so late. That is beyond committed. Look at that. So he's just scratching to get down the face, basically trying to get down a river rapid. And meanwhile, he's got this 12-foot slab of the Pacific Ocean behind him. That was an extreme barrel there, Joe.
We will run out of time. Jordy Smith gets past a former event champion and his longtime rival of Julian Wilson as this one bottoms out, setting up for Flores. Spit out of a cannon. A former Tahiti champ. feeling the mana in Tahiti, and he'll put Kaolivas under pressure early in this matchup.
Magnifique. That was insane.
Kuiper Girl along with 1988 world champ Martin Lynch for the call. Jeremy Flores on the replay. And the 2015 champ out here at Tahiti shows why. He's one of the masters of this break. Bravado, Barton.
That was one of those ones where he looked like he was stuck at the top and he wasn't completely underneath it.
Compressed on the bottom, hit his foot into a kind of a hole and kind of twisted his knee a little bit, he said. He was checking it on the way back out, but he just got another wave. He looked pretty solid. Didn't look like it was affecting him, and he's going to shake it off.
Thank you, Strider, as we check out a replay of that 9.23. And Medina vaulting over Strider Wazalewski in the channel.
Something close. We could see it. Super late, super deep. Spits, and he comes out way after the spit.
10, he says. I don't know. Maybe 10. One judge already said yes. A couple of judges still deliberating as we look at this in slow motion to really appreciate it.
And he came up high and you could see the wave was spitting and there's no way he could see where he was going. He was on braille. He's like, what, a 10? Asked the judges the question. He's still thinking he's most probably had them before in his career and he knows the feeling. He knows what it looks like, what it feels like, and he thinks he might be on again.
And then even if this was the same exact size and everything else, if it was a right, I think Felipe would be more gutsy and be taking off behind it and falling on his toe side rail and handling business. But, you know, we'll see if he can adjust.
Now knifing this section and pulling in. Great control after the spit for Seth MONIZ, who is having a blast in these conditions today. Kind of similar to Owen's form today, where you didn't really see him underwater too often.
No. Okay, so Seth MONIZ, wow. Insane. I just like how confident he is. Seth has got that ability to know where to take off. He is right behind it. So all the work is done before he stand up. All he had to do was manage the drop and point towards the channel. And you're going to get rewarded with an absolute trainer. Beautiful late drop. And that's, you know, he made that look easy, but that is not. You got to fall out of the sky, stuff your rail in the water, and kind of land on that inside rail. He looks really comfortable. And Jack Freestone, no hand Jack, he's been dominating.
Jack with priority. Trying to get the lead off KAIO IBELLI, and IBELLI takes this wave. KAIO locking in and getting a beautiful section to kick out of to celebrate. Bomb to go right into a paddle battle. Let's see what happened on KAIO's.
Oh, wow, critical drop, Joe, and really well behind it. So again, KAIO looking comfortable out here, putting himself deep and behind. Late drop, he bottomed out. You can see even touching a foam ball, so he disappeared.
KAIO's turn. Slap to slide, and he is somehow holding on to that rail. And he will just hoot himself out. These guys can't help it. Those are pure claims coming from their guts of adrenaline, knowing that this is a special day in surfing history.
But still, amazing surfing. KAIO, you can see falling out of the sky, so a little more critical there. That was kind of a psycho drop, and it was pretty deep there, too, for a half second. Watch this. Underneath it, slid out of control for a second, and then just sat there in that big old cave. So I believe KAIO's going to have the advantage.
I couldn't believe that control he had on that slip to slide. The fins disengaged and came out feeling like a giant out of a pit like that. I can't even comprehend all the barrels these guys have gotten today. Only needed a 2.5. Next wave for Owen's going to land on Chatty's head. Deep in the pit and chokes. All right.
Well, Owen just got an equalizer right there.
And now the battle for priority. Remember, Jaddy had to wear that extra wave on the head, so Owen's free to just stroke his way back into the lineup.
Owen Wright, look at the speed line through that. Is that better than Jaddy's 7.67? Quite possibly it is. It feels like it was, on the foam ball. That water angle really shows it. I feel like it was a late drop, and that was one of them tubes that the judges love because you drive through it. There's no stalling, there's no faking.
Jadson's turn slides right into a bomb. Andre has some room to come free into the channel. A shootout between two talented goofy foots that qualified together. What a feeling for Owen Wright. Jadson Andre as well, though, getting a 9-point ride here.
Here's the 9 on the foam ball. Biggest set wave, and that's where the big scores have come from.
So then was chasing an 8-9-5. This is what Owen did behind him.
Owen's going to get the best wave of the heat for sure. We haven't seen any indications for the judges yet, but it's a big set, a bomb set, a leftover from yesterday, perfectly deep. Where does this one go, Joey?
Unbelievable ride for Owen Wright. If he already has 8s and 9s, BL,
exactly.
Where are we going with this one?
Well, you could be going perfect. It's early in the day to be going perfect. We finished the day yesterday with a perfect score for Gabriel Medina, but everything tells me by the indication of the 9s we've seen in this heat, that was significantly big. How radical this wave is. Here's another one.
As we see the spit, and coming from behind it is Jordy Smith. Starting to feel it now. Started off with waiting for an opportunity. Took a couple of smaller ones, and now he's getting more of what he came for on finals day. His wave before, like you felt, BL, 4.83. And that will be much better than that 4-point Ranger to put pressure onto Souza. 15 minutes on the clock.
Go. Let's have a look. Jordy, super. He must have swung at the last minute. That was a gift from Adriano. And I feel like that was a serious mistake by Adriano. But look how late Jordy is. What control from Jordy Smith.
Just love the approach, looking straight down. Had more size and a much bigger barrel to sit right inside of. And classic backhand tube riding. I love how high up he's sitting there. So much goes on in between the waves that are ridden, especially in this final with these two. Repeat of the matchup last year. Owen wants payback from 2018. Launches himself into a solid cavern.
Yeah!
Comes flying out. There's the emotion from Owen Wright, because he knows he was ultra deep on that left-hander. 4:19 to go. A 7-2-1 puts him out in first.
Yeah, let's have a look on the replay. Stalls off the takeoff, pulls in, again stalling. Great length, completely disappeared. Came out, was stoked with it. And I feel like that 7-7-3 indicates to us that the judges, they're coming along for this party, the Owen Wright party. He could get the win here with this score. There it is.
A 9-1-7 for Owen Wright and the lead off Medina.
Wow! Best wave of the final without the priority. Steals it right at the end. There's some karma about that one from last year, but again, it's decisions. And if Gabriel Medina had stayed close to Owen, had gone that wave, he would have got the 9-1-7.
If I look at the lineup of surfers in this event, I would say that Nathan Hedge would be by far the, oh, look at this.
Deep one here, setting up for Jack Robinson. This is what we came to Tahiti for. Jack gets a bomb. Let's have another look, Laura.
Wow, biggest wave of the morning. Jack Robinson late under the hood, so deep, disappearing for seconds and getting spat out. That was so critical. What a drop, grabbing and just, wow, Jack Robinson. Best wave of the day for sure. That was heavy.
Below sea level on the takeoff, a backless beast, and kind of by surprise, Laura.
He
hadn't seen anything like that all day.
No, and he just makes it look so easy. 2 strokes in, he knew that he just had to engage that rail, open the shoulders, and just hold on for dear life. He was so deep on the foam ball. I cannot wait to see the water angle of this, but Jack Robinson, he is no stranger to these situations, and he just made it look so effortless and easy.
The takeoff was committed. It was critical. He had to be willing to free fall to hold that rail, and the section he looked up into was gigantic.
Yeah.
Everything was heavy about that ride. Jack Robinson, in his debut here in Tahiti, locks in a 9.43.
Wow. Tahiti Pro here at Te Aupo'o. A miracle of the surf world. Another heat number 6 in the water. And it is KAIO IBELLI scratching into this one, pulling into a big, thick cavern. Where is IBELLI? And he exits.
Yes. Well, last night's surf really helped him out because he got a wave just like that. And now, first wave of this heat, he finds himself a massive score.
Replay of KAIO IBELLI. Check it out, Pete.
Look how deep he is. He is wrestling that foam ball, comes out after the spit. That's exactly what the judges want to see. You think you're not going to make it. Everyone in the channel was thinking he wasn't going to make it. They couldn't see him until he arrives in the channel. That's a number that he is going to be very proud of.
When you surprise the judges, that's when you're in the excellent range, and that's what KAIO IBELLI did. Disappears way behind the foam ball and finds an exit.
As I thought, and here's Nathan Hedge live.
Way back in the barrel, way back, and nets it for Nathan Hedge.
Oh, we had the same scream. Oh my God. That was nuts. I mean, let's take a look at it again here. Forehand. This is the type of wave that forehand's going to help you. You just have all these sections. You're able to pump and pump and pump. And he's out of there. That is so mental. One more time to see if he, I mean, he's got to disappear from view on this even angle. Again, look at gyrating through the foam ball. One more time through the foam ball again. Incredible. Go, go. Oh, he made it. That sounded just like me, huh? That's exactly what I did here in the booth. Oh, that was sick.
One of the great moments here at the end of the road. Nathan Hedge providing that moment.
Oh, look, and it turns the corner here and actually goes for a full. I mean, you can see it bending in this wave. I mean, I don't know where he is. He's back there, like you said, with the headlamp. KAIO owns a headlamp. Oh, that's so cool. And that feels so good. Is this the first perfect 10?
I mean, what more do you need to do? I guess the only thing that you could dock him for is a little bit of that misstep with the foot, but he definitely went complete in the end. Yeah, and you can see the elation from Nathan Hedge exiting in the channel.
At the very end of that thing, he was on the foam ball, drifting down to the bottom of the wave, and somehow kept the control going. Incredible.
Now remember, Nathan Hedge.
So I need to change my surfing? Or
yeah, I mean, that's what...
As we look at Jansen on a big section.
Oh, wow.
Now what do you do?
See,
now they got to compare Jadson's first one, and an air over the sled. Watch how deep he is here. I mean, that was really well done. See how he gets. See if he gets really back on that foam ball. See, he's back on that a bit on that foam ball. It was pretty nicely done. That was a deep barrel. It doesn't feel like the 10 zone or anything like that, you know, but it definitely feels like it could compete with Italo's better score. In a situation like this, you'd want to make it real clear, though. You don't want to be like almost, or we're dead even. And you know, Italo is the champ.
Next one's going upside down and trying to control one of the most radical takeoffs of the day. McGillivray pulls off the impossible.
Oh my. Oh wow. And look, all of his friends just are losing it. I do not understand how he hung on to that, Joe. That was just wild stuff. He seemed, look, he's sideways, just getting crunched at the bottom and somehow hanging on to that. I think we could see something very, very high. Matty McGillivray, we've seen a lot of people try that takeoff today and go down, but he hung on for dear life and just muscled and hulked his way through that foam ball. That was the most incredible thing I've seen all day.
Unbelievable, out of control, but in perfect rhythm. He had that incredible tail release that was imperative for him getting deep on that wave. Total commitment from McGillivray.
So much commitment, so much magic trickery for him. The nose dug in. He's going sideways down the face on a 10-foot huge tubing chopes wave, and for him to be under the lip here on the foam ball, it's spitting in his face. He's so deep. I am going to say this is going to have to go perfect.
I'm with you, Laura. That was incredible. One of the coolest things I've seen all day. Kelly asking about Maddie's 10-point ride. As we look at Griffin Colapinto. Big lunge into the first section. Super deep Colapinto. Into the sunshine in Tahiti. What a great time to be watching this event. But they loved his commitment. There's a difference for Colapinto's wave.
Wow. So Griffin going this west bowl here. Easy takeoff, just slicing down, but then that going through that huge, thick, bowly section. That is going to feel good. So yeah, nice, easy takeoff here into this huge, round, open cavern for Griffin. Under priority, that's a a wave that you'd want to try find.
Oh, he certainly would. He reached down to grab his rail, missed, but still had enough composure to pull up and under. And that was the big difference. You broke down Sammy Pupo, the technical takeoff. Griffin, more of an easy step in, but he was a lot deeper than Sammy was on his
And
rim.
look how thick that wave went.
But look at this.
Oh, this happened during the break with Slater.
A bomb, and just such an intense wave. And look at the scores that have been posted. A 9-point ride as he high-fives, but look at this thing, or 9.0. As you see, look at this. Underneath, beautifully done by Kelly Slater. Late drop, everything there, in line, and you said it, just as going out there, frothing out of his skin because he wanted to do this exact moment.
11-time world champ, 5-time champ in Tahiti. We get to see the poetry, the terrifying beauty that is Teahupo'o and the approach with Kelly Slater. Under a thick cavern and the spit where he exits.
You see how he used his butt. He tapped it as he was dropping in there just to slow him down ever so slightly.
Kelly Slater moving on into the quarterfinals. Jack Robinson now in the priority situation, striking. Oh, high line, yanks up on the rail. Exit for Jack Robinson right on the hooter as the priority heat ended and Jack Robbo's heat went into the priority heat.
Unbelievable. Did you see how high he got? That was definitely, he was like his board was vertical on the face and somehow able to ride over the top of the foam ball and get himself through that one. Went into the layback.
This was a 9.1, Peter.
That's what we saw before he went to break. And the fact that he went up so high, I mean, we could get, please, just get a slow motion of that again. Let's watch inside the hole here, but watch how he yanks up and then over the foam ball. He knew that that foam ball was going to come up the face, and he took that high line. So difficult and so technical. That's why Jack Robinson is renowned for his barrel riding skills, is doing that kind of thing right there. Yanked it up knowing that the foam ball was going to come up and able to get high and then come through it. And that's why it's a 9-point ride. I mean, so technical. Look at that, slowed down, then up into the wall. Oh, so good on the backhand.
Can we call him a tube maestro?
Sure.
This is a technique that's absolutely incredible and reactionary, right, Pete? Just the drag, but like you said, in slow motion, you can see the pull up the face, drifts up there away from that foam ball on the bottom, avoiding it intuitively, taking the high line, disappearing completely from view, and making sure that he finds a clean exit.
And it's anytime you just get this moment where you're like, wow, that was special. That's when you're going to see the numbers go up into the 9s.
Nathan Hedge with priority in the priority heat. He's out there in the white jersey and scratching into this one. Airdrops into it. Big blast from the barrel and comes out of it. Nathan Hedge defying gravity.
Well, I told you it wasn't over yet.
Take a look at it.
Oh, super late, and airdrops down and stumbles into it and spit out, and the crowd goes wild. That was a gnarly drop way up on the shallow part of the bank there, on the reef, and out. Everyone in awe. Look at how thick that lip is. Very similar to what we saw in 2014, doing it again. That feels so good. Look at that, just aired out, lands it, spits all over him, and then he comes out. That was really, really cool.
I mean, at that point, he must have been surfing by braille because there's no way he could see what was going on once this wave spit. But look at the drop.
How committed it is. I mean, again, releasing the fin, somehow pulling it together, keeping the board underneath him as that wave spits. Just has to set the rail, and that section goes over him, spitting even more. He's not seeing a thing at this point. Then finally daylight.
Incredible.
Scores look really good.
Yeah, they do, and deservedly so. Look at the excitement from Nathan Hedge as he makes his way out into the channel. Again, defying gravity on the drop.
The silver medalist in the Olympic Games is now setting up a potential strike to try to get the 7.41. Kanoa grabs the rail, lunges into the first section. It's staying wide open.
Wow.
Igarashi stands tall for the exit and lets some of the emotion out with 2 minutes to go.
Look how deep he is. He doesn't even have time to slow down. He is just gunning for the end of this barrel, and that is going to be up into the excellent range, I would say. It is. He was just so deep on this, just pulling up and just holding his line while it's throwing over the foam ball. That absolutely amazing from Kanoa. I'm speechless.
And so clutch in such an important heat of his season. Ultra deep, foam balls behind him. But he had such a great read and came out with such momentum, only chasing a 7.41. How's this angle?
Wow, just the guts to go so deep on this, needing a 7.41. The way that he just read this and weaved.
Scores are in. Kanoa Igarashi gets a 9.7 and the lead off Jadson Andre. Almost a perfect score. 110 thrown from the panel. They dropped that, and they dropped the low of a 9.2. He was only chasing that 7 Ranger, so getting the score and some to take the lead on a very important moment in his career. Jadson now needs an 8.04 with 20 seconds. Kanoa 20 seconds away of potentially clinching a spot in the WSL Final 5. Teahupo'o comes to life from the channel, but Pupo's on a bigger one. Over the foam ball, Miguel comes out into the channel.
Unbelievable.